In the search of a deeper understanding of human behavior, I came across this amazing book titled Surrounded by Idiots: The 4 Types of Human Behavior, How to Understand Those Who Cannot Be Understood by Thomas Erickson. Erickson divides people into 4 groups: red, yellow, green, and blue. Reds are natural leaders who like to take charge. They make quick decisions, focus on results, and always want to win. They're so competitive that they might even try to win when playing simple games with their 6-year-old kid. Reds like to be the boss and tell others what to do. They tend to be straightforward and blunt. Sometimes how intense they act can come across as too pushy and hurt others' feelings. Yellows are inspiring. Yellows love to talk. You hear them before you see them, as they are always talking to everyone. Yellows are happy, friendly, and love to cheer others on. They want to include everyone and make sure we're all having a good time. They're always coming up with new, creative, and fun ideas. However, they don't always finish what they start. They like thinking about ideas rather than working on them and completing those ideas. Greens are stable. Greens are quiet and reliable. They're always there for their friends and team. Greens tend to be the calmest of the 4 colors. They don't like change, loud arguments, or surprises. This can make it hard for them to voice their thoughts or handle tricky situations. Greens like routines and schedules. They want to know what to expect each day. Blues are analytical. Blues think carefully and want everything to be perfect. They notice little details that other people might miss. Because they hate to make mistakes, blues double-check their work all the time. If you gave a blue a 50-page instruction manual, they'd read every word and then ask for more, just to be sure they understood you. Blues can struggle making decisions and seeing the big picture because they can get lost in the details. Here's a real-life example to understand the colors better. Imagine you and your friends are planning a dinner party. This is a great way to see the 4 colors in action. A red is going to quickly take over the initial party planning. They'll rush to decide what day the party is, what time it starts, and then delegate the rest of the work for the group to figure out. They've already decided. The party is going to start Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. It's important for them that decisions are made quickly and everyone has a task to do. But they don't care about the details, and they don't care what day works best for you, because they've already made up their mind. Now, go take care of the rest. They'll see you Saturday. Your yellow friend looks like they are glowing and bubbling with joy. They are envisioning all of the fun, exciting, and engaging party ideas to share with the group. It could be a costume party or a cocktail party. They're so excited they'll keep bringing up different ideas of what it could be and who should come. They want everyone at this dinner party to have fun, and it's only fun if everyone is involved. They don't care if it's realistic or not. They want this to be the best party ever. They're so excited they've already called the DJ to play music. You last heard them say something about a giant cake. You're not sure if any of this is really going to happen or is true, but you can feel their enthusiasm. When it comes to planning the party, greens are going to be the calm and balanced ones. They'll work behind the scenes to make sure everything runs smoothly. Greens are happiest when there are no surprises or last-minute changes. They'll be warm and welcoming to the guests and make sure everyone feels at home. If no one has stepped up, a green will make sure there's plenty of food and drinks. Their main goal is to make sure everyone feels comfortable and is enjoying themselves. They just won't be seeking any attention and want to stay out of the spotlight. Blues are going to be the most stressed out by the party. They want to keep track of all of the details and stick to the schedule. But there's so many unanswered questions. It's too early. Why can't we push it back? How are we going to know how much food to order? What happens if someone shows up that isn't on the list? They'll make a checklist, a spreadsheet, and just in case, they will look up a list of local rules and regulations. After all, you can never be too prepared for a party. It's important for blues to feel prepared. Around this time, the red in the room will tell your blue friend to quit worrying and get ready. There's still a party to enjoy, even if everything doesn't go according to the blues' perfect plan. You will have a much better understanding of colors in the following part, but do you have some idea which color you might be? Can you recognize which color your parents or coworkers are? If you think you are 2 different colors like red and blue, you're probably right. About 5% of people are only 1 color. Most people are 2 colors, around 80%. And the remaining are a combination of 3 different colors. Part 2. Recognize and adapt. The best way to start is to meet the person where they are. If they're a blue, match them with blue behavior. If they are a yellow, act yellow. Reds. If you are adapting your behavior to reds, be straight to the point and don't waste time. They like things done quickly, and conversations should be short. Instead of boring them with a ton of details, only tell them what they need to know and move on. If it's too long, they don't care. Keep it short, or they won't read it or hear it. Reds work hard. They might be the hardest workers you've ever seen. They care about results and aren't afraid to work long hours. If you want them to like you, show that you're willing to work hard and that you care about getting things done. Reds respect people who put in a lot of effort like them. Reds move fast. They want things done as soon as possible. It doesn't matter if you make mistakes. They care about efficiency as much as results. To get along with a red, move fast. Walk fast, think fast, and get things done in a timely manner. Pick up your speed and tempo. Don't slow them down with details. Just give them what they need and get out of their way. Reds tend to be hot-headed and get angry quickly. Be prepared for temper tantrums. If a red throws a tantrum or is rude, address it right away. Say it loud and clear. This kind of behavior is not okay. Yellows. Adapting to yellows is about creating a warm and friendly environment. Yellows are their best when they are happy and around others. If a yellow can focus on the big picture and talk about their visions of the future, this is when they are at the top of their game. Encourage yellows to explore new ideas and cutting-edge concepts. They love being early adopters and trying things that have never been done before. Yellows are more focused on the latest and greatest than if it is realistic or possible. Be approachable, friendly, and open when interacting with yellows. They enjoy being around people and function best when surrounded by others. Show interest in them as individuals. Smile often and use open body language. Keep in mind that yellows respond well to flattery and want to be well-liked and appreciated. Have a clear plan and be prepared to follow up when working with yellows. They can be easily distracted. Know your message and help them stay on track by providing them structure with simple lists and checklists. Offer gentle help so yellows can turn their ideas into action. They tend to talk more than they work, and they may spend more time discussing future plans than actually pursuing them. Encourage them to start taking concrete steps toward their goals, but do so in a kind and clear manner. If you need to give critical feedback, use the right tone and come prepared with facts to back up your points. Be persistent and watch out for attempts to change the subject or avoid the issue. Greens. Greens value security, stability, and predictability. They may be more anxious and risk-averse than the others, and they appreciate peace and quiet. Here are some key points to keep in mind when adapting to and behaving around greens. Understand that greens are motivated by a need for security and may worry about potential risks more than others. Listen to their concerns and show empathy for their anxieties. Help them face their fears gradually and encourage them to move forward despite feeling scared. Avoid pushing them too far out of their comfort zone too fast. Provide greens with clear plans and explanations of what to expect. They feel more at ease when they know what's going to happen and how things will unfold. Break down complex tasks or changes into manageable steps. Be patient in explaining details and answering their questions. Help them feel prepared and informed. Be cautious and respectful when offering criticism or feedback to greens. Any kind of criticism might come across as an attack. Have sensitive conversations in private and reassure them that you still like and value them as a person. Focus on specific things they can improve instead of general negative statements. Take the lead in decision-making and problem-solving when working with a group of greens. They tend to avoid responsibility and may struggle to take initiative. Be gentle but firm in making necessary choices. Encourage greens to participate and share ideas, but be prepared to take charge if needed to keep things moving forward. Blues. Blues are known for their attention to detail and focus on quality. They value facts, logic, and careful preparation. Be prepared with details when working with blues. They appreciate when you've done your homework and can talk in depth. Make sure you have all the necessary information and can answer their questions thoroughly. If you don't know something, admit it. Don't make excuses. Blues value honesty and accuracy. They'd rather you say you don't know something than make it up. Stay focused and avoid excessive small talk when working with blues. Blues are there to work and achieve results, not be social. Stick to the facts. If you have a more outgoing personality, like a yellow, try to have a more professional or business-like approach to things when working with a blue. Present ideas and plans that are realistic. Blues are skeptical of optimistic or visionary concepts. They want to know what's achievable and how it will work in the real world. Recognize and appreciate blues' commitment to quality. They take pride in doing things right, even if it takes more time. Avoid criticizing them for being too slow or perfectionistic. Instead, praise their attention to detail and the superior results they achieve. Show that you value quality work as well. If you need them to work faster, give clear deadlines and hold them accountable. Help blues make decisions by providing them with facts and data. They can sometimes get stuck in the decision-making process because they want to analyze. When a decision needs to be made, guide them towards a choice. Encourage them to trust their instincts when not all the facts are available. Part 3. What stresses each color? Reds. Red's number one stressor is their self-confidence. The fastest way to stress out a red is to take away their power. If they can't be in charge or make decisions, it's like stealing their superpowers. Remember, reds are great at working quickly, getting results, and winning. If you want to make a red person feel awful, make things slow, stuck, and inefficient. This will frustrate and upset them. They love speed and efficiency. If your team isn't making progress, it will feel like a waste of time, which stresses them out even more. At this point, they start to look for someone to blame for things going wrong. Another way to cause problems for reds is to give them easy routine tasks. This will bore them to death. They'll lose focus and find something else to do. Reds don't care about the fine details, and they know it. That's why they give that job for someone else to do, like a green. Reds think they know what's best. They want to lead the whole project, not a small, boring part. The final stressor that annoys reds is when people make silly mistakes and tell them to calm down. Nothing makes a red angrier. People think reds are always angry. They're not. They might be quick-tempered, but it's not real anger. They want to move fast, and mistakes get in their way. Reds are the number one color that think they are surrounded by idiots. To help manage reds' stress, always be direct and redirect their energy. Number 1, tell a red to pull himself together and finish the job. Because reds love competition, they'll take this one as a challenge, and they always win competitions. Number 2, to make it easier for everyone around them, have them go burn off their frustration. Take them away from the environment they hate. Redirect their aggression away from their teammates or family and let them go do something they love. Yellow's number one stressor is being ignored or left out of all the fun. Remember, yellows always love being around people. That's where they get their energy. To really stress out a yellow, ignore them. Don't pay any attention to them or include them in conversation. If you pretend they are invisible, it'll make them uncomfortable and uneasy. Another way to do this is to keep yellows away from everyone else. The worst place for a yellow to be would be a lonely, dark, quiet office. They'd feel like they were in trouble if there was no one else to talk to. They need someone to listen to their big and exciting ideas. If there's no one to talk to, they won't have any fun and will be miserable. The biggest stressor for a yellow is being embarrassed or criticized in front of others. Yellows care what people think about them. They want to be well-liked. If a yellow makes a mistake on a project, don't tell them in front of everyone. It'll hurt their feelings and they'll never forget it. They get defensive and shut down. Their bubbly energy will disappear like all the air was sucked from the room. To help yellows feel better when they're stressed, let them spend time with people. They don't need to have a big party, just a small get-together. Being around others gives them energy. Encourage them to plan a fun team dinner or game night with friends. Give them a chance to relax and enjoy themselves with people. If they are stressed for too long, they'll get sad and silly. This is where their ideas get too crazy in order to get attention. If you know a yellow is stressed out, let them be around friends and have a good time. That way they can recharge and be back to their happy, fun self again. Greens feel the most stress from change and conflict. Greens want to know what's going to happen. They feel safe with familiar tasks they've done before and clear instructions. They'll be stressed out if you tell them to do something they've never done before. It's even worse if it has to be perfect. This will be extremely difficult for them. Greens love routine and hate surprises. If you make a choice at random or keep changing your plans, it will bother them. One example is telling them to work on an important project in the morning. At noon, tell them to stop working on that and instead work on a new project. At the very end of the day, tell them that tomorrow they're going to work on a completely different project. They'll get frustrated, confused, and lose trust in you. Greens don't like conflict or rejection. Any criticism feels personal. If you say their work isn't good enough and they need to start over again, it feels like they aren't good. Bad feedback feels like they failed as a person. The last stressor for greens is being the center of attention. Unlike yellows who love attention, greens hate it. It makes them uneasy. If you think back to the dinner party, a green is more likely to hide in the corner, the kitchen, or another room. If you force them into a large group, they'll be stressed and want to leave. When greens are stressed, they try to shut everyone out. Imagine greens are just like turtles hiding in their shells when they're scared. Their body language will be cold and rigid. They'll avoid you if you are why they are stressed. If you are looking to argue with the green, they will hide until you just go away. When greens are stressed, they tend to hesitate because they're afraid of making mistakes. They are deathly afraid of making the wrong decision. Remember, negative feedback and failure feels like they are a failure. They can't tolerate failure, so they will refuse to do anything at all. If you want to help a green manage their stress, let them do nothing. Give them time, space, and freedom to relax. If you give them as much time as they need, they'll naturally be able to relax and get the job done. Anytime they feel the squeeze of pressure, though, they will clam up and retreat back into their turtle shell. Blues are perfectionists who get stressed when their careful plans are messed up. Blues care about getting all of the details right. If you question their ideas or skills without a good reason, it feels like you are personally attacking them. They can handle criticism if you have logic or reasoning, but otherwise it feels like you're trying to hurt them. Blues care about plans and processes. To stress out a blue, make unplanned changes to their schedule. If you tell them you'll meet them in 2 hours and then at the last minute make them reschedule, this can ruin their whole day. They won't be able to think straight because their perfect plan has been ruined and they can't fit this into their schedule. It'll drive them crazy. The number one stressor to blues is making careless mistakes. Because they spend so much time planning and thinking of the perfect plan, it's hard for blues to deal with others making mistakes. They don't understand why you'd act emotionally or irrationally. Logic, facts, and clear thinking are what count to a blue. And if you don't work this way, it will be confusing for them. Because to them, the only way to work is the correct way. Otherwise, they'll lose interest and pick apart tiny flaws in your ideas. When blues are under stress, they can become overly critical and come across as know-it-alls. To help stressed blues, give them time and space to think. Blues need their time and space to think. They want to create a plan. They want to analyze what's going on around them and to work logic-based ways. As soon as they have things figured out again, they'll be back to normal with a well-thought-out plan. If they get stuck thinking the worst, you might need to give them just a little nudge to think things through. A quick reminder that they've handled bigger problems is encouraging to a blue and can help them pull out of a dark place. Part 4. What colors get along the best and who should work together in a group? Which colors work best together? Should you have a team of all one color? The best team is a mix of all colors. Some colors work better together than others. Some colors will naturally clash and have issues. Here are the 3 key ideas that tend to cause either conflict or complements between colors. First is pace and tempo. How fast do you work? Reds and yellows will love working together in a fast-paced, high-tempo environment. They won't get bogged down by the details. They know they have a job to do, and the only way to do it is fast. Do whatever it takes to make progress. Blue and green work slower. They'll like working together because they take their time. Don't be surprised if they take a moment to catch their breath and think before acting. They're both hesitant to rush and make a stupid mistake. The challenge that a blue-green group will make is because they work slower, they might find it difficult to make quick decisions. Once they have a plan in place, though, it will be well-planned, clearly thought out, and have logic or reasoning to back it up. The second is communication style. Reds and yellows think quickly, talk quickly, and are not afraid to verbalize their feelings. They bring the same kind of energy to the conversation, and that's loud. They know what they want, and they want to motivate those around them to join in on the great success that's about to happen. The problem red-yellow groups have is that because they are so talkative, they aren't very good at listening to one another. They'll tend to talk over one another or simply not hear what the other person is saying. This can lead to arguments and misunderstandings because of this communication barrier. Blues and greens are quiet thinkers, but not big talkers. They aren't going to speak up unless they absolutely have to. You might not even notice that they are in the room working. It's almost like they are so quiet they don't exist. But the second they are comfortable with one another and feel understood, they will calmly share what they are thinking. They might not say much, but under the surface they are doing a ton of deep thinking to solve the problem at hand. The last group dynamic is relationship versus task-oriented. Red and blue are both focused on getting the job done. They care about the results, and this is how they can speak the same language. If they were in a race, reds are driven to win and will work fast. Blues are going to pump the brakes on the car, but make sure that they are going in the right direction, following the map, and they won't crash. Greens and yellows care more about relationships than results. Greens will be more relaxed and calm, while yellows will be excited and animated. They might not get much work done together, but greens will give yellows the space to talk because they listen. Together, they'll understand that each person is important and interested without stepping over their toes or forcing them to get a job done without hearing their feelings about the work. They are perfect complements in balancing each other out. Greens calm down yellows when they have hysterical ideas. Yellows will happily take the lead in talking and social situations, so greens can work in the safety of the background. These are the color combinations that have the most challenges working together. If you can avoid it, try not to put a red and a green together. Imagine a green and a red on a road trip together. The best case scenario is that a red gives the orders and a green follows them. That way, the red can lead and the green can follow directions. The green won't always like it. They'll think the red is bossy and pushing them to go too fast. But as long as they don't have to make any decisions, they'll be okay. Where they can run into trouble is when a green hesitates and a red grows impatient. If a green has to make decisions and drive, they'll have problems. The red passenger will also be upset when they miss their turn because a green was too slow to get into the right lane on the highway and wonder why they weren't the one driving. The most challenging combination is blue and yellow. If a blue and yellow aren't aware how their personalities work, they will face problems immediately. Yellows will move too fast and talk too much for blues. They'll jump straight into a project happy and excited and thinking of how great it will be when it's done. They won't read instructions. They will ignore the manual. They won't listen to reason. Blues won't say a word. They'll just sit there. They'll read and research and plan, but they won't say a word. All they want to do is be alone and think, but the yellow just won't stop moving or shut up. They just talk so much. This will just frustrate a yellow even more because they'll feel like the blue is shutting them out. The blue isn't listening and not interested in giving the yellow any of their desperately needed attention. Both colors can end up miserable and exhausted. Conclusion. We've explored the 4-color framework and learned how to work and understand other people better. I hope you're feeling empowered and less surrounded by idiots. And remember, this is just a simple framework to understand people. Many people criticize this book for putting people into such small boxes. They think it's an oversimplification. I understand that every individual is different and the author isn't denying it. However, we also need some basic guidelines to navigate, and that is what the author has tried to provide. If you ask me, his analysis was pretty accurate. If you found this video helpful and want to learn more about what makes other people tick, check out my video on how to win friends and influence people by Dale Carnegie. Thanks for watching.